It's intermission time. It's great to get out to the movies.
I am Megan Braun. I'm the host of the Synagogue podcast Intermission, and today we have Annapurna. I love your name, by the way.
Thank you.
It's such a beautiful name. It makes me think like Annapurna Films. Isn't that a production company?
Yes, I tell everyone that that's my company.
You should.
I tell everyone that Larry Ellison is my dad and I'm Annapurna Pictures.
That's it.
But that's not true.
Yeah, whatever. I love a lie. Okay, for the listener, can you tell them who you are, what you do, what film we'll be talking about today?
Yeah, my name is Annapurna Sriram. I'm a writer, director, actor, and I just made my first movie. And I say just, but really it took 8 years.
Holy shit.
I've been making for almost a decade my movie Fucktoys, which just premiered in March at South by Southwest.
You know what would be funny is if we had told you can't swear on the podcast. 'Cause
I know.
then how would you even say the name of your
I
film?
would just be like, slut people.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, okay, this is what I was gonna say before we were recording. Was I was Googling you, obviously, and I saw that you were on I Think You Should Leave.
Yes.
And I'm like, that is such a good show.
I was in one sketch.
Yeah.
And then it was like during COVID. So it was very anticlimactic because we were so hazmated up, tested. We couldn't take our masks off.
Yeah.
Everything was like, okay, remove the mask and then put the mask back on. It was a really not funny time, but I really had a lot of fun. And I was like, bring me back.
That's such a good show. Did you see Friendship, his newest
I haven't
movie?
seen Friendship yet.
It's pretty funny.
It's been hard for me to see a lot of movies right now because
you're
I'm sort
busy.
of on the road. Yeah. I always wanted to be on tour and in a band. And now I'm like, oh, I'm too old for this.
That's so fun. My boyfriend is a lighting designer, so he tours with bands, and so his life is the road.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, that just sounds so exhausting.
Yeah. When you're in your 20s, it's so magical and just sexy. And it's you just get to drive
sleeping.
around. And now I'm I just want my bed.
Yeah.
I want to be left alone.
Valid. Okay, this is a question that we ask every guest that comes on the show.
Uh-huh.
If you were to pick a movie that describes your life right now, what comes to mind?
Oh, man. A movie that describes my life right now. I feel kind of like Ladies and Gentlemen, The Fabulous Stains.
Cool. In what respect?
That movie, Diane Lane, is so hot.
Is it you?
I would love to feel like I could channel her character. She's a very fuck you, I'm not putting out. Her whole thing is they're in this band and she's like, we're the Stains and we don't put out. And they wear these little underwear with tights and they'll have this skunk haircut.
Sick.
And I just feel like it's such a good movie. It's honestly a little rough around the edges, but her performance is so good. And her they go on tour and then she has these moments when they're performing where she just starts yelling at the audience.
Fuck yeah.
And I'm just feeling her rage sometimes. So I think that's maybe a little bit where I'm at.
Have you ever now that you've been going around showing your film, have you ever had a moment where people are asking you questions and you just kind of go off script and you're like,
No.
this is the mood I'm in?
Actually, that part's all fine. I don't rage and I don't rage bait at the people that see my movie. I feel I think it's just a really tough time in this industry.
Yeah.
And people can't sell movies, people can't make money. Everything's getting devalued. All the labor that you put into something is worth nothing.
That's right.
And so I think that that's where a lot of my frustration of just consistently being poor and consistently fighting for this thing that you're I really want to sell my movie and I want people to see it in a theater and for it to be that doesn't exist anymore. Fuck you.
Literally everyone that comes on our show has the same feeling, and it's just unfortunately you're in the majority.
Yeah.
Which sucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now we have a section dedicated to getting to know you through your film taste so the listener kind of understands what you consume as a filmmaker. No like pretentious shit. It's just like what you like.
Yeah.
First, when I say favorite filmmaker or filmmakers, who come to mind?
There's a lot of like camp cinema that I kind of like grew up with. So, you know, like Ken Russell, Greg Araki, John Waters, obviously, Jim Jarmusch. But I also really love this French director, and her name is Catherine Breillat.
Okay.
Any French speakers? I also really love Almodovar. I love like how colorful his movies are.
This all adds up.
Okay, yeah.
You said you grew up with campy films. Like, I think that's kind of unique. How did you get introduced to that world? Do you have like a film family?
No, not at all. There's like one movie that is like really random, and when I'm like, this movie is actually like my subconscious core movie. It kind of makes sense, which is Grease 2, which is like that. Grease 2 is like the movie we had on VHS.
Yeah.
I know it's like, how do I know the word to every song? It's like, it's like sleeper cell.
Yeah.
Like I just like wake up and I like know every single line of that movie because we just watched it so much when we were kids. And so Grease 2 is like one like very formative movie that I had growing up. It's really good. It's directed by a woman. Michelle Pfeiffer is really hot.
Yes, she is.
And then when we were kids, we would rent movies from Blockbuster. And then my mom would have us rent movies from the library because it was free. And so that's where I found like Pecker, Polyester, But I'm a Cheerleader, like weird movies. But it's like if you're a kid and you're like looking at a VHS box,
those
you're
are
like
bright and colorful.
Yeah, it's like a cereal box. You're like, that's the one I'm gonna watch. And so I didn't have any like context. And I think because these movies came from the library, my parents just like didn't care.
Yeah.
And I don't think they cared anyway. And then randomly, there's a few other like core childhood movies. My family like hosted this woman from Italy, and she had a copy of Boogie Nights that I watched in middle school. And then my brother once had a sleepover, and they watched the movie Snatch.
I love that movie.
The opening credits of Snatch was like cinema.
Yeah.
Like that's when I was like, oh, this is cinema. Like this is how a movie can move and like look and like all the like
introducing all the different characters.
Yeah, the way it does that opening credit sequence. I don't know what happened to him. Like I also love Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels.
Yes, so good.
So good. So those were kind of like those were like all the like early day movies for me that I just thought were like regular movies, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And I still love Grease 2. And I still love a lot of these movies. Like when I revisit them, I'm like, yeah, these were really good. Why aren't these movies being made anymore?
It's so cool how consistent your taste was. Like like from like what we'll get into your film more in a bit, but from what you ended up making to like what you were drawn to as a kid, that's very cool that there's that through line.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of other movies I love without looking at my phone at my like
it's impossible.
At my like list of things. I also love things like Carnal Knowledge. I love Mike Nichols a lot. You know, I think he's such an amazing director, and like, you know, The Graduate and these classic movies with just like incredible characters, incredible dialogue.
Yeah.
I love even like early early Mammoth movies, and I love early like Neil LaBute movies that are just like fucked up people, but also really great dialogue, really great characters, really simple shooting. And I also really love Coal Miner's Daughter. And I'm from Nashville, so I think that makes sense. But I think Sissy Spacek is such a diva and such a queen. And
totally,
you know, I think that like, yeah, I just love like Badlands, and like she always was like had such good taste for the stuff she did. Yeah.
Oh, Badlands is so good. A prior guest, Sam Pressman, his father has Pressman Films, and Badlands was like one of the main ones that they created. They also did a movie that I hadn't seen. I feel like it would be up your alley. I hadn't seen it until this year because we did an episode on it called, I'm really drawing a blank right now. The one that's kind of like Rocky Horror Show, but not.
Remembering things is hard.
Phantom of
Paradise. Yes, that's the like Phantom of the Opera. Yeah, that movie's psychotic.
Yeah, but it's like,
that movie's crazy.
It's so sick.
But I love the design.
Yeah.
I love the costumes.
Yeah.
The costumes are fucking sick. His like weird,
it's
like
so weird.
Yeah, yeah.
And, I think we talk about it in this that episode, but like Daft Punk was like very inspired by it, which
that makes sense.
Yeah,
that totally makes sense. And then I always have like a thing for like weird like fetish movies.
Yeah.
Like I love The Night Porter. I love Matrice.
You're good at name dropping. Like I'm very very bad at. That's why I write everything down.
Yeah. Well, I also like am doing these interviews, and I feel like everyone's quizzing me.
Yeah.
And so I'm like I must know all the answers. I also love Marie Antoinette. Like I am like a fucking Coppola girly stan. Like I love the way she does her female gaze on just like the whole movie feels like being a teenage girl.
It's funny. I think I could do a lineup of all the like women I know that are Sofia Coppola girls, and like I can spot them from a mile away. You know, like it's just a type of girl that loves Sofia.
Yeah, she's got a quality that's like kind of like ephemeral and like. Dusty, like magical sunset feeling that's like young love that I think is just really evocative when you're thinking about what it was like to be a teenager and like have a crush or something. I don't know.
She really captured an essence that so many people resonate with.
Yeah.
Was there someone in your life that shaped your film taste early on? It seems like you were just kind of picking and choosing what you saw.
I think I just saw random shit. Also, my mom rented Clockwork Orange when I was in seventh grade. And we watched it as a family because she was like, this is a classic. And then I'm like watching this movie with my parents, like having all kinds of feelings. Like, why am I having this feeling with my dad here with me?
That's hilarious.
So yeah, I also feel like my parents don't really have any taste. And then because of that, it was like everything was on the table in like a very like mishmash hodgepodge sort of way.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was like a wild one.
That's crazy. When I say, I'm going to give you like a sentiment and you tell me if something comes to mind, but a film that completely changed the way in which you see the world, maybe like a stance that you've had or
interesting.
Like a point of view you felt really strongly about and then you had a bit of a flip-flop. Anything that comes to mind like that? Or it could be more subtle, I guess.
Well, so when I was, writing my script, I was not going to direct my movie. I was like just wanting a job as an actor. So I was like, I guess I have to do that now. And actually the movie Scarlet Diva has like really changed like the framework of making a movie and just like the role you can play in making a movie.
Yeah.
And I like love that movie. I think about that movie a lot. I love how it was shot on those like early weird digital cameras, sort of like coming out of the Dogma 95 era. I love Asia Argento in it. I love how like strange and like surrealist and like psychedelic it gets. And then also just like really real and scary.
Yeah.
And I think she's like hot. I like how she was just like hot in it. There was something about that movie that I think, especially coming from, mostly like American cinema, that really just like changed the way I thought of how a movie could look and feel.
Yeah.
And kind of be rough around the edges, kind of have this like DIY aspect to it. And also this like one person who is the like force behind the whole thing.
All encompassing.
And they're great and it's cool. I think she does such a good job with that movie. And I think it's incredible. And I think about it a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm like, did something right.
Yeah, totally. And a lot of the ways you're describing it is what you ended up doing.
Yeah. And I don't think I would have had the like full confidence in myself if I hadn't seen something like that made that feels just so purely artistic and not commercial.
Yeah.
That it gave me that sense of like, okay, you can do this and you're like not a narcissist. Like it's okay to be in your own movie and it's okay to like really just tell your story sort of top to bottom and like be the person there.
That's so funny because that didn't even cross my mind, but I guess like someone would have that like fear of it being like it's all about me.
I
and
know.
I'm every part of it.
I still have that fear. On
Yeah.
set, every day I have that fear
That's
of
so
like, do people
funny.
just think I'm like obsessed with myself?
Yeah, but I think like to be a creative, you really have to like think about yourself a lot because you have to know what you like and
And like you're like drawing from yourself.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm the only experience I know.
Exactly.
And you know, there was like a point where my producers were like, no, you should direct your movie. And then I was like, okay, well, then I shouldn't be in the movie. And then it was like, no, we can't afford an actor. Actually, like the way this works with our budget is that you're in it and you're directing it. And we know your schedule's going to align.
Yeah,
we know you'll be on set,
Yeah.
you know, and you're going to
funny.
do what's in the scene.
Yeah.
You're not going to be a diva on set.
Yeah.
And like, there is this element of like, I have to rely on myself. But at the same time, I'm like very self-conscious of like, can I do this?
Yeah.
Is this like really annoying?
Yeah,
Do
that's
I
funny.
just seem like, you know?
But it's not. But I get what you're saying.
But I also think girls maybe experience this
Yeah.
more because then you like look
what
at
guy would ever be
you
like-
look at like the history of movies and there's so many men who are like, I'm the star, I'm the
You're
writer, I'm the
cross.
director. No shame,
Yeah.
like, and it works, and it's fine. I just don't know if they also have their like internal monologue that's like, is this cringe? Like, should I be in this?
That is so valid to flip the script on that. So I was thinking, I guess we didn't really even touch on like your background. I'm curious.
Oh yeah, who am I?
So you were an actor first, but can you just give me kind of the skinny
Yeah,
of
yeah.
like
Okay.
Annapurna till now?
Grew up in Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah.
I went to a performing arts high school and I was like in little like acting things in Nashville, like their vacation Bible school, like Christian educational videos.
VBS.
You did okay, I did Ramblin' Road Trip.
Okay.
That summer. We were all children. I don't
Yeah.
know if you saw that one.
I don't know.
And then when
That's
I was
funny.
like a teenager, I was sent away to like a bad kid school in Virginia.
Okay.
Like one of
like
those.
the ones where they pick you up in the night.
Yeah.
I have friends that went to those.
Yeah. Crazy times.
Yeah.
That was like.
Did you go to the desert or camping?
I did. Mine
Yeah.
was in Georgia. So
Yeah.
I first was sent to juvie by my parents, and
Yeah.
then I went to Wilderness. And then I went to my lockdown boarding school.
I surprisingly know a lot of people.
Yeah. No, in LA, they're everywhere.
Well, also, did you grow up religious? You
No.
Said,
I grew up like very atheist.
because I grew up Christian, so that's why I feel like everyone got sent away
Yeah.
because the standard.
Yeah, no,
was
that
weird.
makes sense. That totally makes sense.
Not that I'm religious, but like just like the environment I was in.
My parents were just like, my dad's an immigrant. My mom is from New York.
Yeah.
I was like on MySpace,
Yeah.
just like going to house shows and
Yeah.
parties and sneaking out. And then they found my MySpace and they were like, where are all these pictures from?
Oh yeah.
And I was like sneaking out a lot.
Yeah.
So I got caught sneaking out, and that's when they like called the police on me.
Wow.
To go to juvie to like hold me there until they could like ship me off.
I'm assuming you watched the Paris Hilton doc.
I actually haven't. I
Okay.
have like it's like one of those things that's like, do I want to actually watch this?
Yeah.
Do I need to revisit this?
Totally.
Like the first script I wrote was about my boarding school, and I was kind of like, great. I'm glad I wrote it. Now I'm going to work on something else and
Yeah.
not think about that ever again. Because
Yeah.
it's sort of like the trauma core.
Yeah.
But from there, I was so like anti-authority, anti-school that I was like, I'm just going to go to art school and get a BFA and like fuck school and
Yeah.
like writing homework. And I also had really bad SAT scores and like a learning disability.
Okay,
So,
okay.
so I was like, I can't even get into college.
Yeah.
I didn't know film school was an option.
Yeah.
And so then I went to acting school. I went to this BFA program at Rutgers
Cool.
and I studied acting. And I kind of feel like that program was like my healing.
Mm.
Like that was the thing that kind of put me together as a person. I don't know if in the Paris Hilton doc, they go into like the way that they communicate in these schools with kids, but it's like really aggressive.
Well, it's very abusive.
Yeah, They're like, you're a cum dumpster and
Yeah.
a desperate slut, you
Yeah.
know? And then I was at acting school.
Yeah,
where-
tons of slut shaming.
yeah, a lot of slut. And I was a virgin. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm not even having sex.
That's
Like,
also a tale as old as time.
yeah,
yeah.
they're like, you're just like a flirty girl, so
Yeah.
you're a slut. which is true. And so then I like went to acting school where they were like, it was sort of like I could become confident and like in my body again as a person.
Yeah.
But I think it always kind of gave me this like, I don't know. It kind of made me like different. Like I was tough. Like I was just a different kid than
Yeah.
the kids in my college because
Yeah.
they're like my prom, and I was like
Totally.
my wilderness digging a latrine. You know, it's
Yeah.
just like a different vibe.
Different path.
Yeah, and I think that that's sort of become the like theme of my career,
Mhm.
whether I like it or not. Which
Yeah.
is just like I am like going to have to like do things in my own way.
Yeah.
So then I was living in New York, and I was an actor. I did a lot of theater, and I did like Jesse Eisenberg's play off Broadway and on the West End,
Oh yeah.
and Wallace Shawn's play. And then I kept being like, when am I gonna like book a TV show
Yeah.
or book a movie or something? And at the time, it was just like the opportunities for girls who looked like me were like kind of racist. Like it was just like, you're the brown girl with a headscarf, or you're the doctor or the med school character, or the girl who has an arranged marriage who does, and it was just
Yeah.
like all these like really boring kind of like nothing burger parts.
Yeah.
And I was like, I am this little like freak, and like I want to be hot, and I want to like be sexy, and like I'm just like those opportunities are not aligning.
Yeah.
So when I at a certain point I was like, I guess I just have to like write my own character who can be like the hot brown girl who's like liberated
Yeah.
and shameless, and because that's me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that was like in a nutshell how I like came to it. And I think that like, I never thought I could write because I could barely go to school. And it really took my friend writing that script about my boarding school with me for it sort of to unlock and realize, oh my God, this is so easy. Just like writing is actually like a lot, like it's not this like mysterious thing.
Yeah.
Like kind of anyone can do it if you have the story.
Have something to say. And
Yeah.
even just talking to you right now, like you're a good storyteller, and that's half of the battle, is just being able to like tell a good story.
Yeah.
This is cool.
This is cool.
Your
This is
story-
actually my therapy. So thanks so much.
No, your story is interesting, and it like it's just cool. I love when I have someone come on and I get like bits and pieces of their life, and then knowing what films they watch and then what projects they end up doing, and I'm like, I just have a better understanding of
Yeah.
this person because I'm coming at it from all these different angles.
Yeah.
For what you consume, I want to know like what comes to mind when I say comfort movie.
Oh, a comfort movie. Okay, I have a few.
Okay.
I have a few comfort movies. One is Marie Antoinette.
Uh-huh.
One is this movie called Playtime. It's a French movie.
Yeah, I have it saved. I haven't watched it yet, but it's on my watch list
it's
on Letterboxd.
Tartuffe? Oh my gosh. The French are going to hate me now.
Yeah, this has definitely come up on the
This
podcast
is going to
before.
be like Jacques Tati.
Yeah.
Okay, the other one is Playtime by Jacques Tati. You can do a little
Nice.
edit
Yeah,
there.
got that.
And then there's this other movie that I've found myself watching a lot
Okay.
this year. I don't think it was ever released. It's called Girl Walk All Day.
Okay.
And it was this like DIY movie made in New York in like 2012. And it's literally a girl talk album,
Uh-huh.
which I hadn't really even known about back then.
Yeah.
And it's just these like people dancing in New York to
How
this
are you
album.
watching it? Like on YouTube?
It's on YouTube. It's on Plex.
Cool.
I know Plex is kind of stealing.
Yeah.
But it's like the movie could never be released because the like score is like all of these huge popular songs. But there's something about this movie that is just like so happy.
Sick.
It's so joyful. It's just like this girl who's amazing, and she's just dancing in public in like New York, all around the city.
Oh, I love this.
And it's kind of like you can put it on at like a dinner party or something,
yeah,
and kind
good
of like
visual.
you can like dance along. You can like just watch it. It's like literally this like movie brings me so much joy, and I'm just like I like DM'd the director because I was just like, this movie you made over 10 years ago is so beautiful. It's
Did
like
they get
so
back to you?
yeah.
Cool.
We like DM'd. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's lovely. I should shout out his name.
Yeah. That's fun.
It's like a really random movie.
How'd you find it?
It was on Plex on my boyfriend's Plex server.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what is this? And I like just put it on and then I just couldn't stop watching it.
Yeah.
By Jacob Krupnik.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So
Shout
that
out.
movie is like, Jacob Krupnik. Hey. Yeah, that movie is like really special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. That kind of like.
And Josie and the Pussycats.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense for you. I like this for you. Yeah. They played Josie and the Pussycats kind of recently at Vidiots. Do you ever go to Vidiots?
Yes.
And I missed it. And I was like, that would have been a really fun like watch in a theater.
Yeah. And I would like sing along and be annoying.
I bet everyone there wanted to do that and probably did. Okay, my last question for this section is there a director or an actor you drop everything to work with?
Scorsese.
Yeah.
I love Scorsese. He should also be included in one of my favorite director questions.
Yeah.
I don't know why I forgot.
Yeah.
Because like After Hours, Alice doesn't live here anymore.
I love After Hours.
I love After Hours.
I only watched it for the first time. It was either this year or last year.
Yeah.
And I keep like, because of the podcast, I write a fine line of like consuming a good amount of movies, but in the world of film, I'm like the noob, like I don't know anything.
Yeah, okay.
And so I'm constantly being put on to like just
Yeah.
like movies everyone's seen.
Yeah.
But when I watched After Hours, I was like, oh, this is another one of those where I should have seen this already. But
Totally.
I'm so happy to have watched it
Yeah.
now. you know?
Yeah. No, After Hours is special. Also, like, his movies are just good.
Yeah.
Like Casino, Goodfellas.
Yeah. He's famous
The
for a reason.
Irishman. Yeah. You're
Yeah.
kind of like, he understands story structure and he
Yeah.
understands pacing. Like,
Yeah.
he knows how to make things like move and feel sexy. And you're just like, I'm in the story.
Mhm.
I'm in. I'm locked in. And yeah, I would drop
Agreed.
everything, Marty.
Okay, now we're going to get into your movie, Fucktoys.
Yeah.
Which you wrote, directed, and starred in. I have a little description of it here. I'll read it, and then you tell me if like you think this description's any good.
Did you write it?
I think that this is from the internet.
Okay.
I don't remember. In an alternate universe, teetering on the edge of the millennium, a cursed young woman sets out to raise 1,000 for a crew of eccentric psychics. Her journey through Trash Town takes her deep into a world of weirdos, visions, and fate, all in the back of a beat-up scooter. What are your thoughts? Do you feel like that summarizes it?
I feel like AI made that.
Really?
I think so.
And do we not like it?
I think it's like, okay, so I think of it as like about it's about a girl who's obsessed with psychics and she's told that she's cursed, but in order to lift the curse, she has to pay one $1,000 and get a sacrificial lamb.
Mm-hmm.
And so then she goes on to like her quest adventure into Trash Town,
Yeah.
which is like an alternate universe, like pre-millennium collage of like the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s and
Yeah.
90s a little bit. It's like a very like homage movie to all
Yeah.
the movies that I was just talking
Yeah.
about. And it also follows the major arcana of the tarot.
Uh-huh.
So it's the fool's journey
Yeah.
of this like quest to lift a curse that may or may not exist. And she's a sex worker. So she's like making her money
Yeah.
doing that. But then it's also like everything's going wrong, which is just like reinforcing maybe the curse is real.
Yeah.
Or maybe the curse is being a woman.
Huh.
Or maybe the curse is capitalism
Yeah.
or being a
The
millennial.
curse is always capitalism.
The curse is always there. Yeah. The curse is, everyone's cursed in their own way.
This, like, just like you explaining it, it makes me think how do I word this? Like how big of a project this probably was to take on because there's so but like it's sick, it's so cool and sick, but like I bet this was like daunting, I guess is the word I was thinking of.
Actually, so it's funny. I thought of it as like a really easy indie film.
So funny because like there's so many elements.
No, I know.
to it.
I'm an idiot. I'm like, this is a noob. This is a noob.
Yeah.
I was like, it's easy. We're just in a location for one day and the actor only has to work one day. It'll be super chill.
Yeah.
And I wasn't like,
because like costume and set.
yeah,
and
I was like totally like not. And I was like, we'll build everything out of trash. It's Trash Town. Trash is free. That's free production design. Like my whole thought process on how this was an indie film is like really psychotic now when I look back on myself.
Yeah.
Because I was like, yeah, 20 locations, no big deal. We'll just pay the location for one day. 28 actors, no big deal. They're just going to work one day. They'll be happy to like drop their lives to come to set for one day.
Yeah.
I didn't know we would be filming during COVID in Louisiana So we're like bringing everyone in,
Yeah.
having to like build all this stuff.
Yeah.
And no, it was like not, it was only like once we were like maybe a month out from shooting that I was like, holy shit, this, like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
This is like crazy. But I think I needed to be that naive
No, you have
to like
be.
get that far
Yeah.
and then to be like in it where I'm like, wait, this is maybe too much.
Yeah.
But we're already committed.
I mean,
so
many people, like, I think I've talked about this in the show, but I just find so many people I meet in LA that are like crippled by all these logistics that they don't do anything.
yeah.
And
Or
so-
they're like, it's one house.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to make an indie film that isn't in an apartment.
Yeah.
That's like
Groundbreaking. Yeah.
it's not 2 people talking in an
Yeah.
It's like 28 people talking
Yeah.
in 20 locations
Sick.
with a moped, which I'm terrified to drive.
Really?
Which I was like, why did I write this? I was like, it'll look really cute.
Yeah.
But like, I was horrified. Yeah, I'm like clenched the entire. I can like barely smile because I'm so like
Nervous?
clenched. I'm
Aw.
gonna like fall over.
I used to have a Vespa. I love them.
Yeah, I like to be on the back of them.
Yeah, that's cool.
You know,
Yeah.
but maybe not a boss bitch on the front.
Yeah.
Like maybe that's a little.
I'll be the one riding. You'll be on the back.
Yeah, I'll be on your back. I'll be your back bitch.
Okay, this film was inspired by tarot. What's your
Mhm.
relationship to tarot cards? Is that like a thing that you do?
No, I'm
Okay.
terrified of them too.
Okay.
Just like the moped.
Okay.
Uh,
How funny. A theme.
I did have a thing for psychics though.
Okay.
And so when I wrote, like right before I wrote this script, I was really sick and I was like, using this like psychic who's like a medium who like helps cure illnesses. And I had like, my mom had this woman that I would talk to who would do like healing for me.
Yeah.
And then there was this woman named Wendy that I found who was a numerologist. And I was like just trying to get them to like heal me of this low grade virus that I had. And then I had this call with Wendy and she was like, I think it's your boyfriend.
Huh.
And I was like, what? And then she's like, yeah, it's your boyfriend who's making you sick. And if you don't break up with him, you're just going to get more sick and you're not going to have the career that you're supposed to have. And then I'm like sobbing and I'm like, no, maybe we can do an open relationship. Like I can't break up with him. Like, and then basically she like convinced me on this call that like I needed to break up with him. So then I like got off the phone with Wendy and then was like, hey, we got to break up. Like the psychic told me to break up with you.
Is this a different guy than who didn't you say earlier, my boyfriend?
That's my now boy. This
so
was like,
you did break up with
yeah,
someone.
we broke up with him. I broke up with him. I then was like
Any
took a
regrets?
shower and then was like, what did I just do?
That's wild.
And then I tried to get back together with him and he was like, no, I think it makes sense. And I was like, what? Like it was like
Whoa.
everything just like changed in this moment. And I remember going out to get coffee with my friend because I'm now like grieving my breakup.
Yeah.
And I'm telling her and I'm like, I don't know what I just did. Like the psychic told me to do this and then I just did it. And now it's all over and I can't put it back together. Like we can't undo
Yeah.
the thing. And I feel really crazy because I thought I was a really rational person, but I just like completely like left turned my life because Wendy told me to.
Yeah.
And
I'm
I was
obsessed.
like, really? I know.
This is incredible.
So I was like, really? And then I like zoom out and I'm like, that's a really funny story.
That's a great story.
and also like a funny character.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a girl who literally just like believes whatever the psychic says is so gullible
Yeah.
because she's like so desperate or so existentially like mind fucked in some
Yeah.
way that she's just like, whatever you tell me, I'm just gonna like cling to.
Yeah.
So then that was like the seed of my movie where I wrote, I think in my like heartbreak,
Mm-hmm.
I just like wrote the first scene of my movie as this like funny scene
Yeah.
of like a girl kind of being conned, kind of being truthful. It's like true, but a con.
Yeah.
And I try to make all my psychics in the film kind of this like, they do tell the truth, but they are kind of scammers.
Yeah, totally.
And that's sort of how I feel.
Yeah.
And so then the tarot came later. And then the rest of the film is sort of these vignettes of like real life experiences or real moments I'd have or like a real interaction that I would just be like, that was so fucking insane. I need to write it down and put it in my
Yeah.
movie. I can't believe someone just said that to me. That's going in, it was
Yeah.
like, that was kind of how the dialogue really was born. And then the co-lead of my film, was originally this guy that I had a crush on, and I was in my breakup, and he came to me and was like, I want to be an actor. And I was like, yeah, like I'm going to write your part into my script I'm writing and we'll like fuck in the movie. Because I wanted to hook up with him. And so the love interest character was inspired by this boy that I had a crush on. And then we ended up kind of seeing each other. And then it kind of like ended and it was like not going to work out.
Yeah.
But
That's
the character was like written for him. But then when I did my casting, I was like, I don't want to work with like a cis boy. I don't want to like act with a cis boy or give a cis boy this kind of opportunity. I want to like open it up to women or non-binary people.
Yeah.
And then that's how I cast Sadie, who's the co-lead.
Yeah.
But I didn't change anything in the script. I was like, the script is the same.
Yeah.
It's just you now.
Yeah, cool.
And like, you should have this part and like, trans mask people should be the heartthrobs of movies and like fuck cis boys.
Yeah.
So
incredible.
So that was like, so then after the script was written, this like tarot reader person read it and they were like, you know, your movie is The Fool's Journey.
And you didn't
I didn't know what that was. I was like, what is
Oh.
that? And then I read about how Jodorowsky uses The Fool's Journey. And then I was like reading about it and I was like, oh my God, that's that character. That card is that scene. That card is that. That's
Wait, how funny.
I know. And so then I used the Rider-Waite tarot cards as like my reference point for the color palette of the movie and like the iconography and sort of the design, because I was like, fuck it, let's just go full like, like I need a direction, like here it is. And then I also wanted my character to be kind of like brown girl Bridget Bardot. So I was like, she's just gonna be that.
Yeah.
But and then there's a lot of homage to other movies that I love, but the tarot then just kind of became this like blueprint for the design and the structure and sort of like helping me, because it's not a traditional sort of like script structure, but it helped me then like sort of like make it have a structure that made sense. Yeah, but when it comes to tarot, I'm still like very skittish. I'm just like always scared I'm gonna draw the tower. And I like don't want to.
We're gonna get into the tarot stuff in a sec, but so for the listener, wait, this is so interesting. Also, so everyone who listens to the podcast probably hears me say the same thing all the time. But I'm a graphic designer. That's what I do, like as my full-time job. And so, like hearing you talk about like the aesthetic of the movie and all that. To me, that's so cool because it feels like we were talking about earlier, a brand. And it's like, I'm like visual, like all the colors and the, it's like a big world that you created. And I just think that's so cool. I love it.
I mean, I think that with like a movie that's set in like a heightened universe and like an alternate universe, the way you could style it has like infinite possibilities. And I like needed structure. So I needed to give myself rules so that then I could just like play within the rules. And I'm really picky about color. So I really had a very specific palette and I didn't want to stray outside of it. Like no orange, no purple, you know, no royal blue. Like it's baby blue and baby pink, yellow, green, red. And like that's the palette. And I think that helped, at least for me visually, and sort of like create consistency so that it didn't just become random, but that it all felt like it was the same world. And that I then wasn't overwhelmed with like
endless
like it could be that, it could be that. Yeah, I was like, no, let's just use the tarot card. What's on the card? It's the Hermit. Okay, pull from that, pull that, you know. And that just kind of gave me like sort of structure to play in. But then you can kind of go crazy when you have a little structure.
I love this.
I also want to make a deck of cards though for the movie.
You have to.
I know, I have to. We have to make money first so I can pay the artist. But like I want to eventually have like the cards that are like the movie cards. Yeah.
Oh,
I would pull one of those cards.
I would buy that immediately.
Okay, I'd give you one.
No, I'll buy it.
Yeah.
That's sick. Oh, I want to hear what it was like premiering your debut at South by Southwest.
Okay.
How did that happen?
Okay, how did it happen?
Yeah.
We submitted. We thought we wouldn't get in because we didn't have any sales agents. We had no big company. Like we're a true indie. Like we are just like me and my producer and like my co-producers. Like we are just a little team of, I don't know, like people trying to make art, I guess. And so we sort of just like submitted like, let's just toss our hat in the ring, see what happens. And we were really shocked that we got in. We were shocked that we got into the competition because I was like, oh, they're probably going to put me in like midnight or like weirdo movie category. But the fact that they put us in competition was like,
so cool.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, because this is a movie. Like, why can't this be a competition movie? And then the actual experience was really stressful. I actually hate watching my movie with strangers.
Yeah.
And then the premiere, I also sat next to my parents. So I sat next to my Indian dad and my mom, which was like not recommended. Like, do not recommend watching your like sexually liberated, sexy sex pop movie next to your dad. Not a vibe. So I was just like clenched the whole time.
Holy shit.
And he was like, I don't ever need to see this movie again.
Did he say like proud of you?
He did. He said he was proud when we got in. He was also before he saw it, he was like, I think, because I've been working on it for 8 years. So I think for my parents, they just think it's this like hobby, this like thing in the background.
Yeah.
And then they're like, but what's your real career? And I'm like, no, this is the thing.
Yeah.
And then when we got in, he was like, I'm sorry I haven't been more supportive. And I was like, I thought you were supportive the whole time. Like,
that's funny. He like
I was like, I thought you've been there for me. It is. I did show my grandfather the movie.
Okay.
And he loved it. He's
Cool.
100. He's 99. He'll be 100 next year.
Hell yeah.
And I wanted him to see it before. I was like, who knows? You never know how long you have. And he loved the movie. He's in an old folks home and he was like, we need to show everyone the movie. And I was like,
that's funny.
But then after he fell asleep and then he missed kind of the end, but he watched a majority of it. And then when he woke up, I was like, what are your favorite movies? And he said his favorite movies are Madam Secretary, which is a TV show, Law & Order SVU, which is a TV show, and 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, that's where I get my little pervert side from, is like from my grandfather.
That's really funny.
Yeah, but South by was like surreal. I don't know. I feel like when you work on something for so long, I feel like my movie is like my kid. And when it has a premiere or like a screening, it's like my kid is getting dressed up and going to prom.
Yeah.
And I just am like hoping that everyone's not going to carry my kid at prom, that they're not going to like dump blood on it, but that they're going to like it and be nice to it.
When you said carry my kid, I was
like
thinking
I know, I meant
carry,
like carry. Yeah, like, no, I know. Even I was like, that doesn't make sense.
You said blood and then
So I don't know. I think it's like, it's kind of like a bittersweet feeling because it goes from like being your personal thing to like everyone's thing.
Yeah.
And when it's everyone's thing, you know, it's vulnerable. It's open to critique, to criticism, to love, to celebration. And, you know, you don't really know how it will be received. And so it's kind of scary. So I don't know. I have a lot of, it's a kind of a weird feeling because it's sort of, I guess it's this thing you're working towards the whole time, but you don't actually ever know how you can't envision or predict how it's actually going to feel, especially when it's so, to me, my movie's, I think, very wholesome, but I know it's not to a lot of people. And it's also very personal because it's like all these real moments are based on all these real people. And so it's also kind of strange because it is kind of like, I feel very naked in a way. So it's a complicated feeling.
Yeah.
I'm like, I just want to write my next script and work. You know, it's like, I almost want to like go back into the hole and like just be like working again and not like interfacing with it.
I bet that's like a really common sentiment too.
I hope it is.
Yeah.
I
bet. I don't know. But that is funny.
In the comments,
Yeah,
if this is a common sentiment.
Let us know. Okay, my last question for this section is if Fucktoys had to be screened with another film as a double feature, what would be the perfect chaotic companion?
Okay, well, there's so many. Because obviously Grease 2 would be so crazy.
That would be pretty cool. I like that.
Grease 2 would be pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I also feel like Crimes of Passion, which is a Ken Russell movie, would be really fun.
Yeah.
I want to say Showgirls would also be really fun. And After Hours, I also think would be a nice little pairing. And Marty could come. We could do like a little conversation.
I love it. We'll make it happen. Once we get his daughter.
Or we just do Grease 2.
Yeah. No, you have to. It feels like you have to do Grease 2.
Yeah, or I just need to like, meet the director of Grease 2. She's someone else I would drop everything and I'll like dance for her. You know, she's a choreographer. I'll like dance for her.
Yeah.
She could direct the musical of Fucktoys.
Like what, the bit of like when you're a kid and you're with your cousins and you do like a performance for your parents so you can have a sleepover. It's like that, like you're doing a dance to then work together.
Yeah, well, that's auditioning. That's welcome to auditioning. You're like, remember when you used to audition for your parents for a slumber party?
That's so funny. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what an actor does. And that's why it's humiliating and really cringy.
So funny. Okay. I have one last section here.
Okay.
And it's we typically on the show will do like a game.
Okay.
But this time the game is going to be called Movie Tarot. So I'm going to go through the different tarot cards. I'll say what it is, I'll describe it, and then you tell me what movie you think goes with that tarot card.
Yeah, okay. I don't know the cards very well, so this will be fun.
I'll
yeah.
Them
this is great.
And also, like, I wrote down backup movies in case you draw a blank.
Okay, I'm gonna open my little cheat sheet.
Yeah. Okay, so first we have the Fool. And the Fool represents new beginnings, taking leaps of faith, and embracing the unknown. So what movie comes to mind for that?
New beginnings, taking leaps of faith, embracing the unknown.
Do you want me to say the ones I wrote down first to get the ball rolling?
Yeah, what would be yours?
Okay, so I put Frances Ha because I feel like in Frances Ha, she is in the transition of like she wants to be a dancer and she's figuring out, her like who she is as a young adult and her friendship and taking that leap.
New beginnings. It's interesting because when you first said The Fool, I wanted to say like Nights of Siberia because that's actually that's this Fellini movie and his wife is Juliet Messina plays the lead and she's sort of this clown, kind of like Lestrada, but she's like a clown sex worker.
Well, you could take these however you want.
So that was like my initial one because that was that to me, she always kind of embodied the fool.
Yeah.
And there's this movie called Sweet Charity, which was like a musical made from Nights of Siberia.
Yeah.
That is like Bob Fosse did like the musical. And it's like very much this like happy-go-lucky sort of naive girl like looking for love. And I kind of feel like—
I like this.
I kind of feel like Nights of Siberia would be my fool.
Cool.
Because she's kind of like— she gets played so hard in the movie. It's really tragic.
I think this fits perfectly.
Okay.
And also, these are all just like it's where you take it.
Yeah.
That was interesting. Also, backtracking, when you talked about the work you did, the shows you did in New York, were those plays or musicals?
Plays, straight plays.
Do you do musicals?
I would love in my next movie to sing.
Okay.
But we have to— that's TBD.
Yeah, okay.
I have to get a coach and we'll see what happens.
Okay, next we have the Empress. Abundance, nurturing, creativity, femininity, sensuality, earth energy.
Ooh, okay. Sensuality is really interesting. I'm trying to think of a movie where we just like get like hot, sexy sensuality.
So I have Portrait of a Lady on Fire.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that one.
Okay.
But I wasn't sure if that was like too like sad. I'm trying to think of a movie where like someone is just really hot.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like The Lovers, like that old movie. Who's our leading lady who's very sexy, Jeanne Moreau.
Can you show me the poster of it?
Mm-hmm. It's like this woman and she kind of has this like affair. And like she kind of has this like affair and it's like, I don't know. I relate to it because I just know that I love that feeling of like when you have like fresh love and it's like intense and kind of like all encompassing in your brain. That's like hyper specific, and I feel like I'm cheating.
No, you're not
using
cheating.
I
I wrote down my answers ahead of time, so if anything, I'm cheating even more.
Okay.
Okay, the next one we have is the Lovers. Represent relationships and choices, some decision about an existing relationship, a temptation of the heart, or a choice of potential partners.
The Lovers, and I just used the Lovers.
Yeah, I know, isn't that funny? I put Carol.
Carol is so good.
Yeah.
Carol is so good. God, that movie is so beautiful. It's shot so beautifully. Okay, I do really love, I feel like I'm just throwing out answers now because I need to answer. Oh, Wild at Heart.
Oh, cool.
That's
I
a
love that.
great lovers one.
Yeah, that's a great
That's
answer.
a great lovers one.
You know, I was trying to rewatch it this year and I can't find it streaming anywhere.
Yeah, they've taken all the good movies off of streaming and you have to like rent all the good ones.
I really want to get, like, all the people that come on the show are really into physical media and I would love to have everything like Criterion and shit, but it's like
that's
I
a
can't
lot.
afford
That's a lot
it.
of work. It's a lot of
It is
space.
cold, yeah.
It's a lot of space to keep track of everything.
Okay, next, the magician signifies power, manifestation, and resourcefulness. It represents the ability to turn ideas into reality and harness one's potential to create desired outcomes.
Magician.
I put Synecdoche, New York.
Ooh.
So that title I always say wrong, but I think I got it. Yeah.
Synecdoche, New York.
Philip Seymour, right?
Yeah, I saw that movie so long ago. I don't quite remember it. The Magician is interesting because I want to go magic.
Yeah, why not?
Like, what's the one? The Witches. Is it The Witches of Eastwick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that
with
movie.
Jack Nicholson and like Susan Sarandon and Cher.
It's Cher and one other babe.
one other. Oh my gosh.
Because it's the three girls. Michelle Pfeiffer.
Is it Michelle Pfeiffer?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're all like so. There's like all the balloons in the room. Yeah, that movie is
That's a great
really
one.
fun.
That makes me think of you.
Also, Practical
Yeah.
Magic. Practical Magic
Yeah.
is another good
That's
one
another
for that
I don't know
one.
why like Halloween, but like female Halloween movies make me think of you.
Yeah. Also, Practical Magic has an iconic Faith Hill "This Kiss" needle drop
That's funny.
that I love Faith Hill.
Yeah.
So Practical Magic is maybe going to be my magician one.
Okay, next we have the Chariot. Represents triumph through determination, willpower, and focused direction.
Ooh.
And I put whiplash.
Ooh. Okay, so we're thinking like something focused, someone working hard on something.
Yeah.
Maybe Bring It On.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I love that.
I also love Kirsten Dunst.
Yeah, Kirsten Dunst. We're talking to
True legend. True legend. I'm trying to do all female led movies too, by the way.
I've caught on. That's cool. That's a good one. Okay, Wheel of Fortune represents change, cycles, and fate. And I put boyhood.
I might do Ghost World.
Cool.
Because
You
it's,
said that kind of quick. You knew it.
yeah. Well, Wheel of Fortune, there's something about Ghost World, which I rewatched it and then I got the comic book recently to read the comics that it's like comes from.
Yeah.
And the end of that movie, I didn't remember when I saw it when I was a kid being so, what's the word? Like, did she die? Did she leave? Did she commit suicide? Like, what's
Open-ended?
the ending? Yeah, the
Yeah.
ending has this like dark turn to it.
Mm-hmm.
And she's sort of trying to like figure out her life.
Yeah.
So she's in her like spinning the wheel,
Yeah.
like what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
The tower represents sudden,
gosh.
unexpected. Oh, this is the one you were talking about. It represents sudden, unexpected change, upheaval, and destruction of old structures, beliefs, or situations.
I know mine.
What is it?
Breaking the Waves.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is Lars von Trier's first movie.
Yeah.
It's kind of one of the only ones I like of his. Emily Watson is
I like Lars von Trier.
amazing. I like Dancer in the Dark.
Yeah.
I do like Dogville.
Yeah.
But Breaking the Waves is like this like incredible, moving, intense, fucked up story where she's like in love with this guy. They get married. He works on these like boats. He gets injured.
Uh-huh.
And then he basically tells her like, you should go fuck other men. But she's like deeply religious. And so she's like trying to like do what he wants. And then she also kind of thinks if she fucks other men, it will like heal him.
Yeah.
And then the whole town is like turning on her and it's sad. It's a
Yeah.
tragedy. But
that is a cool answer. I like
yeah,
that.
but it's a very like the tower.
Yeah.
Like her life becomes the
Yeah.
tower.
Yeah. Yeah, the tower is a bad one, huh?
Yeah.
No one wants the tower. I put Melancholia, like End of the
Oh
World.
yeah, you also chose a Lars von Trier movie.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so we're in sync.
He's very tower
Yeah.
coded.
Yeah. I swear I didn't copy you. I wrote it down already.
No, I know you didn't copy me.
Yeah, he's very tower coded.
He's
That's
very
funny.
tower coded.
That'd be kind of sick actually to get like a tattoo of one of these cards that you feel like
right?
kind of comes up in your life a lot or something.
Yeah.
Okay, we have 3 left.
Okay, great.
Oh no, 4, I'm sorry.
No, great.
The moon signifies intuition, illusion, and hidden truths. It can represent fear, uncertainty, and the subconscious mind, encouraging you to trust your instincts and delve deeper into your emotions and motivations.
Mm.
And I put Donnie Darko just because, like, the words of like illusion and hidden truths and subconscious, I feel like that movie kind of has a lot of those.
That's
sentiments.
a great one.
Yeah. It's
I
one of my
was
favorite
leaning in a
movies.
different direction.
where'd you
That's
take
way
it?
less. I took it to Casino Royale,
Okay.
the weird Peter
There is no
Sellers
right
version.
answer. Yeah.
I know. I just like I'm also trying to go off of just like
Yeah, what comes to
Rorschach.
you?
Like Rorschach
Exactly.
says, like, what's the first movie?
And that's how I actually, that's a great way to word it on the podcast because people always are like, oh shoot, I'm only thinking of these movies. And I'm like, well, that's kind of the point. I'm just kind of curious what's on the top.
So Casino Royale was this like weird like comedy James Bond movie that was like Orson Welles and Peter Sellers. And then I don't know what happened. Something happened with the production. And then the movie is just like weird and psychedelic. And like at a certain point in the movie, it just like loses the thread and just becomes like psychedelic visuals. And to me, that feels like kind of like it goes inward and it just becomes its own little psychosis, maybe. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
That was my Rorschach answer.
Yeah, I like that. I like it. Okay, the star represents hope, faith, and renewal after a period of difficulty.
Oh, that's a really cute one. That's a cute answer, or that's a cute one to think about. What's your star?
I put Shawshank Redemption, just like mostly in the like hope in this time of difficulty. A little on the nose.
Yeah. I wonder if like Chungking Express would be a good one for the star.
That's cute.
Yeah.
I like that.
I feel like Wong Kar-wai is the star coded.
Yeah.
Lars Ventura is the tower.
Yeah,
I feel like Wong Kar-wai has this sort of like yearning, hope, love, like wanting this thing that you can't have, which is like
a little like shimmer in his eye.
A little shimmer, a little sparkly. Yeah.
Okay, the second to last, we have the High Priestess. Represents mystery, stillness, and passivity.
The High Priestess. Okay. We need to find a bad bitch for this one. A movie where we like love her and we're so proud of her. We're proud that she wins in the end. What would be your High Priestess?
Well, so I went with Lost in Translation for this, just in respect to like the stillness and passivity. I feel like that movie is that.
Yes,
to me,
it is very Sophia Coppola.
Yeah.
I might go with The Love Witch.
Oh, that was another.
She's
I think the reason I think of Olivia. I keep talking to Olivia, and the listener is going to be like, "Who are you talking to?" But our producer Olivia over here, when we were saying Witches of Eastwick, The Love Witch, and what was the other one we said that was witchy?
Practical Magic.
Yeah, like those all remind me of Olivia.
And Death Becomes Her.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
That's a cool answer though. That movie is that aesthetic and that concept.
That's very like giallo. Yeah.
But it feels like you.
Yeah, I'm like the like half sister.
Yeah.
I'm like the messier one.
Yeah. I like that. Okay. And then the last one we have is The Hermit. Suggests you are in a phase of introspection, a period of inner reflection.
I bet there's a good Hitchcock. That's a good Hermit.
Yeah.
Maybe Vertigo.
Okay.
Or maybe Rear Window.
Cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I feel like those are kind of like tense thinking.
Yeah.
Slow. Pensive. Maybe something like that.
Perfect.
I don't know.
I love it.
I
love it.
I'm like, how did I do on the test?
She passed. Well, that is all I have for this game and this episode.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
Yeah.
That was so fun.
Good. To close us out, maybe if you could just plug your film one last time, like how people can see it and I don't know, whatever else you want to share.
Yeah. So we have a website. It's fucktoys.lol. And then we have an Instagram and it's Fucktoys the Movie. It's at Fucktoys the Movie. And we also have an online merch store on our website and on our Instagram. So if you want to get some like cute little hats and shirts or a poster, you can.
And yeah, that's all I have, really. I had fun chatting.
I had
with
so
you.
much fun chatting.
Yay.
Thank you for having me.
Of
This was
course.
really fun.
Yay.
And hopefully really interesting and fun for the listeners.
Yeah, no, they'll love it. They'll love it. Okay, well, now it's time to get lost.
Good evening.
If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to leave us 5 stars on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. To stay in touch, follow our Instagram page at It's Intermission Time and share with your friends. As always, Intermission is produced by Jazeel Chu and Olivia Dean, and of course, hosted by yours truly, Megan Braun. This episode is brought to you by The Synagogue.